guys, welcome back to another week of Mortgage Matters in Minutes. Again, I'm your host, Brent Rasmussen, owner of Mortgage Specialists. I don't think I've chatted about this in a while, but having over 25 years of history in the lending environment, we work a lot with the real estate market and real estate agents, realtors, buyers, sellers, appraisers, everybody in the arena. And so this question that comes up today is one that we try to educate our clients each and every day, but many times they feel just because we're a loan officer, we might not know the real estate market, or we're not out there each and every day in the real estate market. And I would tell you, while we're not driving around seeing homes each and every day, we're having conversations all day long with buyers and sellers and converting and talking to them about what it is that the market will bring, what the price points might be for clients, and also any problems along the way. As realtors have problems and buyers and sellers have problems, we conversate and talk through those things to make them all happen. So today the question comes up, contingency offers, are sellers accepting them in 2024? Again, people would assume that as the market changes, markets would change as well too. So there's two different things, markets and the market, right? So we can talk about both those things today. So first, let's talk about what a contingency offer is. So a contingency offer is one that means I will purchase your house. I will do something as long as I'm able to do this or that. So I will buy your house as long as you allow me to do this inspection. I will buy your house as long as you allow me to sell my house first so I can use the down payment for the current house. We used to see this happen a lot with home inspections. What's really occurring now is people have a house to sell. They want to use that equity towards a down payment on their new house. And what we run into a lot is sellers might not allow that to happen or might not like that offer that comes in on their property. So let's talk a little bit about that. Why would sellers not like a contingency offer? Well, first of all, if people are bringing multiple offers to the table, there's a great chance that one of the offers that they're getting doesn't have a contingency. So sellers are always going to take what's best for them, whether it's price, whether it's a faster close, whether it's the least risk. There's many different factors that happen. And again, while we are not licensed professionals, I can tell you we see, hundreds of contracts a year come across our desk, and we see what other buyers and sellers are putting together, writing, and getting accepted because we don't move to underwriting for an individual buying a home generally until we receive the purchase contract. So what is a seller worried about? They're worried that you might not be a reasonable seller and you overprice your home. They might be worried about over time, there's always risk. Things can happen. Wars can break out. Rates can change. Everything can occur, and anything with time, if there's a chance of something changing, that's risk. Also, sellers worry that if you are putting an offer in contingent upon the sale of your home, what about that buyer that's buying your home? Is it a great buyer? Did they fall through at the last minute? Do they lose their job? Do they take on more debt? Do they lose their high credit score? All of these things are risk. And what we like to suggest to you is, would you accept this offer as a seller on this property? And most of the time when we bring that up, people will be like, no, I wouldn't do that, because you don't want to or don't have to. So what can you do to change this particular process? Well, there's a few things you can do. One is obviously, we'll talk more about this in detail, but work with the lender and the real estate agent to understand the market, to understand what sellers are mainly taking. Again, I talk a lot in percentages with my clients, saying much of the time, most of the time, nearly all the time, or very little of the time. I'll give a kind of a good guidance of what I'm seeing coming across my desk. It doesn't mean that I know every single seller and every single property, but when we see consistencies over time, we can give a little bit more information for buyers and sellers and what's happening with the market. So when you do put an offer in these days, especially in 2024, nearly all homes are selling at the initial sales price. And it's a very, very, very high number. I don't want to go out on a whim and give you an exact number, but I can tell you it's over 90%. We're seeing that happen over and over and over. Meaning, if a house gets listed at $100,000, more than 90% of the time, they're getting $100,000 or more, possibly. So knowing that helps you understand, can I put a low ball offer in? Possibly. Is it going to get accepted? Possibly, possibly not. You can also increase your earnest deposit. If you have some kind of a risky situation, meaning you need a house to sell, maybe you give the seller a higher earnest deposit, or you strengthen the contingency period, stating, hey, how about you wait for my house to sell, but it needs to sell within this many short days. So the seller has an out and you have an out if things don't go perfectly the way you anticipated them. Or you can increase the sales price and offer them more because of the situation. I think where things come out to be now is that, as humans we want what's best for ourselves. We do like helping other people, but when it comes down to it, buying a home is emotional and people want what they want. Buyer wants the house, seller wants to sell for as much as they possibly can get. And trying to get those people in the middle with lenders, realtors, appraisers, title companies, all the above to educate everybody to understand how this can happen. So how do we fit in this as a mortgage lender? When we do pre-approvals, we look at every single client to see, do you have to sell to qualify? If you do, that's the way the pre-approval is written. But we also will look at your pre-approval and say, hey, while you might not like this option, be prepared if the seller doesn't accept your contingency offer. And if the seller does not accept your contingency offer, you still can move forward if you want to, but it's your choice. And we as loan officers are looking at those type of situations and here at Mortgage Specialists with every client that calls. Because I can say truly across my desk, we see an offer being accepted on the contingency of the sale, meaning I, again, need to sell my house to buy your house. I see that happen way less than 80% of the time. So what I mean by that is most sellers, more than 80% of the time, will deny your offer of a contingency. Again, doesn't make it right or wrong in the market. I can tell you in the Omaha market, there's a lot of experienced real estate agents. There's a lot of experienced loan officers. I'm giving you my perspective here on what we're seeing come across our desk. My gut feeling is for the majority of properties, more than 50%, this is the case. There are properties out there I know that we've heard and seen deals come together where they all contingent, but not all of them are that way. And I think many a times people think, well, why do they care? Why should they be worried about what I'm doing with my property and what's going on? Because it's risky to them that the transaction might not close. And if it's risky to them, they don't have to take it necessarily. They can wait more time, or they can wait for another buyer to come across the table and negotiate with them for a different price. So this is what's still happening in 2024. People would assume this would have changed with higher interest rates, and they would assume home property values have gone down, but that's not currently happening in a large mass or large amount of time. So why is this phenomenon occurring? Well, one of the biggest reasons is just the lack of housing that's out there. We don't have enough particular homes in this market to be able to have this market change right now. And no one can build affordable housing fast enough in regards to qualifying. So anyways, just wanted to go over a lot of the contingencies. What do we see happening in the future? Not much change. Everyone would assume that's been sitting on the sidelines as rates gone up, the market would change, and they haven't yet. The market generally has not changed. We're seeing multiple offers. We're seeing houses sell within a few days to a week or so. While it's obviously a little bit better than it was during COVID, as rates start coming down, whenever they come down, later this year, next year, 2026, we'll see more activity yet of people wanting to buy and sell homes and still deal with this contingency situation. So what you can do as a buyer, get with a mortgage professional. We would love to be that professional and assist you with how can you buy? What's the best steps? What are all of the options on the table? So you are educated to be able to make the best decision for you and your family. Again, I'm Brent Rasmussen, owner of Mortgage Specialists. I look forward to seeing you guys each and every week here on our show called The Mortgage Matters in Minutes. We're here to help give you guidance and information here in the local Omaha, Nebraska real estate market and lending guidelines. So I'd love to chat with you. If you have any questions, feel free to call us at 402-991-5153, or you can check us out on our website at mtg-specialist.com. Thanks so much. All have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.